Hey, this is Trissa behind Sewing and Things. I'm going to quickly show you how to make one of these headbands to help relieve the pressure off your ears from wearing face masks. I find the best material to use is cotton spandex or cotton lycra because it has good stretch and recovery and can be washed on high temperatures. Start off by cutting your fabric approximately 19 to 20 inches wide by 3.5 inches long. You're going to start off by hemming one of your short ends by about 3/8 of an inch, and I just do that on my sewing machine. So I'm going to do that and then come back. See? After you do that, I'm going to fold it in half, right sides together, and you're going to stitch along the long edge with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. I do it with my serger, but as long as you use a stretch stitch, you can also do it on your sewing machine. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back. Once that is sewn, you need to turn it right side out. I have this little tool called an easy point turner, I believe, so I'm going to use that to turn my fabric right side out. So once that is right side out, you can press it if you like, but you don't need to. I just tuck in all my serger threads inside. I personally like to have this seam in the middle, so I go in and make sure that seam is flat in the middle, but you don't have to do this. So once you have that turned out, we're going to take the edge that's not hemmed and we're going to tuck it inside the hemmed edge. I just tuck it in about 3/8 of an inch, more or less. And then I stitch it. If you see my stitch line right here, I just like to stitch it right on the inside between the hemmed edge and the stitch line. I like to do a stitch along here. And so make sure you back tack. I like to start on this edge, sew a straight line down, and then reverse stitch all the way back up, and then tie my knots. Tie my thread in a knot. But you don't have to do that. As long as you do a stitch and back stitch to secure it, then that should be perfect. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back. So once that is sewn, fold your fabric in half with the seam on one end. And I find the best placement to be 4.5 inches from the center front fold. So I like to mark 4.5 inches with a pin. I have 3¼ inch buttons. I find these work great. So go ahead and take 2 buttons and sew them on the middle of your headband where you marked it with those pins.
That's it.
And that's it.
To stay up to date on the latest videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel, or you can check out my blog at sewingandthings.com.